Welcome to the show this week. We're not flying the plane this week because we're having some problems with the brakes. But anyways, we have a really cool show lined up for you. We went back into the Emma mine. As you recall, there was a bunch of sections that were flooded. There were big holes in there. So what we did is actually built a raft to go down into the water there. I didn't want to be in the water. It's so cold there. I kind of learned my lesson from last time. They were just about froze to death. So anyways, we really took our time, took the raft down there, built the raft, and that worked out really well. Unfortunately, not quite as extensive as I hoped it would be, even though the mine is a pretty big mine. A lot of it's flooded and just wasn't able to get into all of it. But I took some really cool shots. The camera is very stable on the water there, so it worked out pretty good. So I really enjoyed the trip down there. So we're going to have a little extra time this week. So right after the title, I'm going to show you a bunch of artifacts that I've been kind of collecting over the last year or so. Some really cool explosive boxes and the story of some of the tools and some of the stuff we have. So we'll just kind of do a little show and tell. I'll show you some of the treasures that I have kicking around here, and then we'll go into them in mine. So stay tuned. So I have my airplane sitting here. It's a pretty cool tool that we use around the mines. We're not using it this week. I'm just doing a little bit of work to the brakes. I have to replace the master cylinder in it. This is an ore cart that I found, and it's actually in pretty good shape. It's not very rusty at all. And what's kind of cool about these is they didn't have any welders or anything back in the day, so everything you see that's built on this old stuff, it's all riveted, so you see it's all drilled, and they use cold rivets everywhere to put everything together on them. And this one's actually missing the end gate, so there would have been an end gate on this one, but it's missing. But other than that, it's in pretty good shape. There's no axle on it, so I'm kind of looking around for a set of axles, and I could probably restore that one there. So this is a little studio that I use here just to kind of record some stuff for the show, the intros and whatnot you've seen on here. And you probably noticed a stack of dynamite boxes here. They're all original dynamite boxes that I found in mines. The top one belongs to the Giant Powder Company, and it's probably one of the oldest ones that I have. It actually says 1913 on it somewhere. Let's see if I can find it on there somewhere. Can't remember where it says it on it. And there it is right there. Oh, it's 1918. It says 1918 on it right there. And yeah, so the Giant Powder Company was one of the first companies that manufactures powder under patent Alfred Nobel, who actually invented dynamite back in the 1860s. And then so the Giant Powder Company, and they end up getting bought out. There was 5 powder companies. Giant Powder Company, the Hamilton Powder Company, you see below that, and that one doesn't have a date on it. And there was one below that's Polar. So those companies end up being bought out by the company you see underneath that says CXL, which was a precursor to the company below that, which is CIL, which ended up buying all those companies up. CIL is Canadian Explosives Limited. So like I say, this history is a little different in the States, but that's the way it is in Canada. But so these ones here have data on them also. So that's 51040, so that's 1940. So those are the two newest ones I have from the 1940s, and the other ones are older than that. So and then you see also it says 40% on that one there, and then sometimes they'll say 60 or 50%, and that's the percentage of nitroglycerin, I believe, that is in the particular powder that they're using. So, all right, these are this was an old telephone line, I believe. That was set up for that, and this is kind of interesting. This is a clip, and they used it in the underground on the locomotives. It was a power cable, eh? So they just had one cable. They had electric lokies underground, and they just had one big power cable that serviced electric lokies, and then the other cable was the rails. So in some cities you see those power tramways where they have two power lines going up from electric bus, and this is for an electric loki that they used underground. So this here was a setup that they used for the lights or insulators. It probably had maybe bare copper on them. And I'm not really sure what this is, but it's a big copper power cable of some type or another. I found it somewhere. And that's just a wrench that I found underground somewhere. So this tool here would have been put actually when they're scoping an area out. And this wasn't even rusty when I found it, eh? So it just turns, and basically it just holds the ceiling up. And then, they do some mining or something, and probably put a timber in there and then remove that, and just kind of a jack, to hold stuff up, So this old chair, I'm not even sure where it came from. It didn't come out of a mine. Old cans and stuff that I found here and there, bottles and stuff like that, you see. This is an old ore bucket, So kind of interesting how it works. If you're building a shaft that goes straight down, you have the weight on the cable here. So when you have the weight on there to tip the bucket, you just undo this latch here, and then the whole bucket tips, and then the weight stays on there. And they filled this one full of concrete, and I thought it was because it was getting rusty, but no, I think it was actually just so it tips back up by itself, makes it heavy on the bottom, so it ended up being pretty heavy. This guy here, I thought that was actually a Fresno that they would have used to when they were hauling dirt from one place to another, pulled behind a horse, because they did a lot of that, when they were building roads and grading and stuff. But I've seen a couple other things that were similar to that in the Greenwood smelter, very similar to that, so I'm not really sure what that is for sure. And this is a piece of clothing that I found, a miner's jacket. It's very old, it's pretty fragile. It wouldn't be in that good a shape, but it's got really quite well built. It's got buttons, they're not brass, I don't know what they are. It doesn't have no zippers or anything like that, it just had buttons and stuff on it. But there's nothing in the pockets or anything, but I just found that in the mine. It was just hanging up. It's a little bit tattered, pretty durable fabric, whatever that is. It's probably over 100 years old. So, yeah. So there's just a couple of things that I found in the mine there, and maybe one of these days I'll have enough stuff left to make a museum or something. When I get too old to explore mines, I can share all these artifacts and stuff with people and talk about them and collect some more. And this is a rock drill, and as you can see it says February 11th, 1911 on it, so it's pretty old. It was run by compressed air, and it's called a rail drill, and the way it works is kind of sits on a rail, and you put the drill in, say you start off with a 2-foot drill, and then you just crank that, it runs on compressed air, so you crank that handle until it goes in the 2 feet, and then you crank it back out, and then you put a 4-foot one and then a 6-foot one, so that's how you drill. It's pretty heavy. It weighs probably about 150 pounds or so. In pretty good shape, actually. I've seen a lot in museums that weren't in good shape as this one is. There's a total of 3 holes, and this one's pretty easy to get down into. The other are a little tougher, and we're just trying to figure out if they're all connected or not. So today we're just going to go down and kind of scope this out and see what else we need to explore and what's down there. This may be just a short little dead end or something, and then at the end of the day we'll have a good plan how we should proceed to explore the rest of this. Now there's a little fraction here in between the BC Copper, that Emma and Den Orno, that wasn't part of either one of those. I think it was called the Marguerite or something like that. So I don't know. We'll see if this hooks up into the Emma mines. Got our boots on here, so we're planning on taking our raft in here, and we'll see what we can see. I don't want to walk too far into here because might end up just kind of falling into a deep pit or something there. So it looks to me like that's connected to where the raft is heading into. So yeah, you like say, you never know, you can find these old mines, but you wouldn't have expected to find a lawnmower. Hey, but someone just threw that down there, I guess. I don't know how that would have ended up in here. So it's heading in the right direction to head back into the Emma mines. So we're really hoping that this is a big long tunnel that heads back into Emma here, and then we know it's part of Emma, so that'd be kind of exciting. So yeah, we'll just jump on our little raft and we'll make our way along here. So this is my kind of backup camera. It's hard to tell whether it's working or not because the screen is smashed. It suffered some casualties on my first 15 adventures on our raft to record, and then I can kind of use this one a little bit. Maybe we can get some footage off of the two cameras and should make a pretty good movie, and should make a really nice platform. So give you a quick little shot of these workings here. And kind of interesting how this Emma mine started. There wasn't a mine here originally, and they put the railway up to Phoenix, and they discovered some ore when they were building the railway, cutting in there, and they found some interesting ore, and that's how they developed the mines. So, okay, well, we'll get her started here. So there we go. We have our main camera recording. It's tied down really good. I'm just going to leave it up there like that and just leave it on, and then we'll just pick up this little camera to do anything else we need to do. Alright, let's see how this raft works. Should be a pretty stable platform. I guess there's no reason why we'd end up going for a swim. We were planning on it. So it looks pretty deep going into here, huh? So, okay, let's turn this light on. Alright, so this is what it's looking like to the outside. Pretty deep low. Not really deep, but fair ways down. You always kind of wonder why this is set up like this. You know, there doesn't seem to be any kind of ore car traction up in here. So you wonder how they got this waste rock and the mined ore out of here. Pretty narrow passageway here. That's okay. Makes it easier to move along. Oh, and that's it. Oh, I didn't go very far, did it? So, you know, like a lot of planning for this. And it really resulted in nothing whatsoever. So, this in fact is not part of the Emma mine. It's part of another mine, I believe. So, not much to see here. So we got two other big stopes, and we'll have to sneak into there. So I wonder if there's bats up there. That looks like guano. Might be an interesting place to kind of check out for bats. And well, it wouldn't be here in the winter time. So if they're not here in the winter time, they're not here in the summertime. I guess there's no bats here, huh? Well, this is surely an interesting way to view and check out these underground structures. You know, pretty safe because we have a life jacket, ropes and stuff. So I guess we'll move on to the next project. So this isn't part of the Emma mine, but interesting way to kind of check this out. I'm here just kind of making a few little last minute adjustments to my plan to get down here. So, a lot of people say that, you should have a buddy go with you or whatever, but I'm really used to working by myself, and the one advantage is you can take as much time as you like without anyone talking, and you just kind of make a plan and really kind of think through what you're doing. So, this isn't really hazardous, but there are some hazards. I'll just point out here. So there's a drill that we found here. So that would be one of the drills out of a rock drill. So that's about a 6-foot rock drill there. But, so I'll just kind of point out some of the things that we're going to do here. So, all right. So I got my primary rope. It's going up the cliff there, and it's tied off to a tree. So the angle, I didn't want to go straight down that real steep bank. So we wanted to deviate here. So I made a deadman's here. Now there's a log there and a whole bunch of rock there. That doesn't look like a lot of rock to you, but this is actually lead ore. It's really heavy. One of them little pieces weighs 150 pounds or so. So that's lots to keep that deviation there. And then so we're gonna. It's actually not that hard to climb down there. Now, one of these hazards is once we get all set up here, if for some reason I get stuck down here and there's no ropes, right? So I don't know if I would be able to get out of here. So, definitely that's, something we really have to kind of think about. So we have 2 ropes. We got this rope, and I have another deadman's set up here. And this is just kind of my secondary backup. Now, even if the first one, for some reason, if that rope were to come out from under the rock and the deadman there, it's still tied up to there. So, I could still, it'd be pretty difficult to get up there. Anyways, I don't think we're gonna have a problem here. So basically, we're just gonna take our time, deploy that raft, and we'll get our cameras on board, and we'll have a look at this mine. I'm thinking to myself, I got down there, got the boat down there. They kind of really completely over-planned for this. I mean, we really don't need 2 ropes going down here, blah, blah, blah. But I guess I kind of got scared after that, just about freezing to death in my first cave tubing adventure. But then I realized, hey, I didn't bring my paddle, so we had to go all the way back up to get it. So anyway, so I think we got everything all set, and away we go. We'll see what we can find in this in the Emma mine here. So once we get down here and have a look at the boat, and we're thinking this is going to go way in here, but could be totally wrong about this. It doesn't look like it goes anywhere at all. So let's just have a look here. We'll paddle out here and see what we can see. Wow, that wasn't what I expected at all, because further up the mine, there's a whole bunch of underground passages, underwater passages. Yeah, there you go. That doesn't even go anywhere. So this is really surprising. I mean, it must go down a long ways, but yeah, this doesn't even go anywhere. And I thought it would, because the first part that we explored there, it just went, it went straight down for a long ways, and there was a big tunnel there. So I don't even know if we can get under that other part. Oh, that really sucks. Suppose we got us a little pond here. Yeah, I've got a little electric motor. Wouldn't that be cool? We could just putter right along here. Well, at least we're nice and warm and dry. I don't know if we're going to get through that. It's pretty thin there. So here I was thinking this is going to be a big, epic cave tubing adventure, and wasn't much to it at all. All right, turn around, girl. So we're just seeing that very first hole in the Emma mine here. That's a pretty cool shot, though, looking down at the light there. We're in the dark here and you see the light. Nice and cool down here on a hot day. Now, we're not going to be able to get through there. I wish we could, It's going to be pretty complicated to get down into that First section, I'm not even sure it's worth the freaking trouble, because there's no way it can go very far. Up the number 2 hole, I guess, and we're looking into the number 1 hole. There's no way we can get in there. I mean, I'm thinking I don't want to swim in there. I mean, that water's got to be, yeah, it's pretty cold. It really doesn't go in as far as I imagined it would. I thought it would go right into the top section of the mine here, but it doesn't. Well, it may underwater, it certainly doesn't above water, so I'm not really all that enthusiastic about getting scuba diving gear and going to there. Some others might, but they had more other things to explore. I'm not really going to get into the underwater exploration all that much, but yeah, it's pretty cool coming down here. You know, it's a real challenge getting down here, and you think about all the safety, and you get down here and you think about everything go wrong and kind of make your plans and stuff, and nothing really happened. But in the Emma mine, I thought, well, just a little ways in there, and ended up being a long bloody ways in there. So I'll give you another shot here going through here. Pretty awesome shot here. It looks so cool with the light coming through the bottom of the mine into the next stope here. Really beautiful green here. So it's really deep here. You come here in the wintertime and it's just totally frozen here, and it's frozen here for a long time. So obviously this mine goes down and it hooks up into the higher levels underwater, but it's totally flooded down. So, but not really much for mineralization in here. Bit of a disappointment if that tunnel doesn't continue on. You know, that's what I thought. You know, when you stand at the top, you think, oh, that tunnel's going to continue up into the next section, and I'm sure it does, but not above water, it doesn't. That's the way it kind of came down from the top there, so it wasn't too steep in the very top, and just followed that ledge along there, and worked our way down there, which wasn't really all that challenging. It always seems to look worse from the top. So here's kind of a last parting shot of the Emma here before we haul our raft and all our stuff back up this big long hole that we were in. So there's another look at that opening into the number 1 shaft. Really cool actually, you get in there and see the light and the water and the green and stuff, eh? So amazing how the vegetation grows down into these mines. You'd think nothing would be able to grow in there. There's no soil or nothing. Watch this. Yeah, look at all them bubbles up there. I don't know what caused all them bubbles. Must be maybe a lot of decomposing stuff down there. Bubbles are still coming up. Crazy. Yeah, but look at this rock, pretty interesting looking rock, and you wouldn't believe how heavy this sucker is. It's pretty typical of what you see just kind of laying on the surface of the mine here. I don't know what that weighs, but it's got to be one of the heaviest rocks that I've ever picked up. So you see some, looks like some copper and stuff in there. I don't know. It always looks a lot shinier underground than it is when you're grabbing it, but I'll take it. Add to my collection at home there. I mean, all this rock is just like that, eh? All this. Where we went in with the inner tube, that's the hole that you're seeing coming through there. You can see the light going through there. So, you know, really there's no real way this could really go anywhere. Unless, of course, there's another branch of a tunnel going off to the other side. But I kind of doubt it. And, you know, this wouldn't be all that easy to get down into either, eh? So, you know, you'd have to rappel down this cliff and go down there, but and there's a bunch of wood and timbers and stuff in there, so kind of nasty in there. You definitely don't want to be stuck down there without a rope or something, because you'd never get out. That's the most difficult of those of the 3 there to try to get down into. So the very first one that I was into, it's possible that we could try to explore some of those tunnels, but you know, it's so difficult to even get down there. I don't really see how we'll be able to get a raft down there, and I don't think I'd want to kind of swim down there. Maybe we can take a little
tour down here a little bit and have a little look in there. Don't get too close to the edge here. We'll probably have a rope here for safety. We'll just sneak down here. There's a couple little trees we can grab onto. See if we can see anything in there. Well, it looks like a pretty big stoped out area in there though. Well, sure tempting to go down to the rope sometime and have a look at that, but that's obviously quite a challenge to get down into that area.